So this is another video on finding course to steer. So this is current sailings. They're called current sailings, and we're in the way we've approached it in the past, and in 3 or 4 videos, is that we have a known current. In this case, it is 1.9 knots to direction 350, and then we decided we wanted to make good a course of 080, so we solved the vector problem to get the answer. And what we found was that we should steer 096 degrees, and then we're going to make something like 6.7 as we crab along that line. So we solved that all ahead of time. Then we also showed that if you set up a route with a known current, in this program, qtVlm, then the program will actually tell you everything, and you don't have to do that vector. Now we're going to take a different approach, a whole new approach, which is interesting, powerful part of the training tool, qtVlm. And so this is that we've told the program and Mother Nature, they're the only people that know that throughout this area the current is 1.9 knots in 350. The poor people driving this boat here, they don't know that. All they know is they want to make good the course of 080 true. And so let's see, how might we do that? And then they also know that they can only go, let's look at the boat, they can only go 7 knots. And we're under power. We're all under power here. Boat settings, engine, and then we set under engine, we go 7 knots. Okay, perfect. And we're under power here. Later we come back and do sailing problems, but let's do some of this basic stuff under power first. Okay, so one way to do this is I don't offhand know where the direction is 080 here, so what I could do is, does it even matter? Well, let's put the route up. You generally want to have a route laid out on your chart that you're following. That's navigation. If you're not following waypoints and a route, you're actually just out sailing. You're not navigating. So we should at least lay out a route. So let me do this. Let me go to the boat here and say ruler tool. I want to find out where direction 080 is. 080 is direction 78. I'm watching that. Oh, a little bit overshot it again. Bang, right click, drop a mark. I'm going to call that 080. Okay, that's my mark. So now I know, and then I don't need that anymore. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll just create a route, create a route. And we don't need any of these. We want it to be or what they call the ortho means great circle in this case, but with this short distance it's rhumb line. So it's a rhumb line route, and that's what we want. And now I add a point to that route. Okay, I add the name is already in use. Well, that's okay because I must have used that in the previous one. Let me just go back and use that then. Route, edit route. Course 080. Okay, that's all the right. Okay, so let's just add a point to that, and I'll just go out here somewhere and drop a point and say I'm done. Okay, I'm just getting a route on there that we want to follow that's 080. Okay, and that's 080 right there. Okay, so that's where I want to go, and then but I don't know the current. And I'm not going to cheat, because if I just put my mouse on here and I told the program the current, it's going to tell me the answer, but I don't know the answer. So what I'm going to do now is turn on the instruments, and we're going to look at cog and sog, speed over ground, course over ground. This is speed through the water. That's going to be 7 knots. By definition, and the course, and this is what we're going to adjust. We're going to change the course through the water. We're going to change that, and these we don't really need, but that's going to be our velocity made good to this mark, and this is cross track error, how far we are off the track that we started from. and we'll just drive at 7 knots and see what we learn from watching the instrument. So what we're simulating is we're driving the boat, which means we control these two here, and that the Mother Nature, who knows what the current is, and we don't know what the current is. I could put up 2 knobs here later because it can compute the current, but we don't want that. We want to just drive the boat, and this will be the GPS. This is basically the GPS output right here, the GPS output, and here's our steering right here. And then we start the simulation with option S. Let's see what happens there. Let's see. Let me turn this on to see the boat in. Oh, the boat's not moving here. Let me put the boat up to 7 knots. Okay, that's going 7 knots now. So the boat's going 7 knots, totally the wrong direction. So let me turn around and get headed to the right direction. So what we're looking at the boat, I didn't explain that. This is the heading line, so that's just showing which way the boat, that's the axis, the center line of the boat. The green line, the green cone, we can make that cone width any way we want. It's going to detect dangers. But that cone is set at 6 minutes, I believe. Let me just stop this for a minute right here. So you see, this is the way the boat's pointed. Now, just by looking at this, here's a reckoning. I'm set at 6 minutes. So this cone is showing me where the boat's going to be in 6 minutes, right out here. I can zoom in a little bit, okay? So that's where the boat's going to be in 6 minutes. You can change whatever, 6 minutes, 12 minutes, whatever. So right now we're running, and there should be there's a trail being generated here at 7 knots. And if we zoom way in, we'll see the boat moving. But we're moving now, and we're moving at our speed is 7 knots, and this is our course. Now 072. Right? And so normally your first guess would be, if you didn't even have this kind of knowledge here, you would turn around and you would set this up here. Let's see, something like that. So, oops, that's too much. Let me go back a hair just to show what's wrong here. That's 83. 78. I'm not going to be able to get it exactly right, but that's 79. There's 82. So you see here is 81. So you see, one of the first things you would do if you didn't know there were current, you would just point the boat right where you want to go in direction 080. I got it almost right. But then, the minute you look at this, you see, aha, I know something's wrong. I'm not making good 080. I'm making good this course here. I'm making good 066. So I'm getting set that way. And for now, we're just assuming that's all due to current. It's not instrument error or driving error or anything like that. So I have to turn right. I have to turn into the current. So I'll just turn in here some till I track down. I want this line to be lined up with this line. That's where I want to go. See, that's how you just end up going where you want to go. You just adjust your course. And now, see, I don't know what that current is. I don't know what the current is. I just know its effect. Now, on the other hand, we know how to do vectors. So I could take these 4 numbers here and lay them out on a piece of paper and compute what the current is. I just solved that vector triangle. Did I get it here? Okay. I'm just slightly over, but you see the answer here. You see, I'm steering now. The course is here. I'm steering 097, and in fact, I'm a little bit off. If I came down, I would want to come down just a hair to be exactly on. And I'm making good, so I'm not quite right. I could come down just a hair to see how fast I can be here. There, 80. Okay, so there you go. Now, so you see what we've done. Now we're on track and we're steering where we want to go. And we don't even know what the current is. Now, we could find out, this is a program that's going to solve these vector problems for us. they could solve these vector problems for us. But we've solved the main thing we care about. This is the direction we want to go, and that's the direction we're going. And our line here, oh, the cross-track error, oh, that's because this point's not activated. Okay, so we can forget it. That's another discussion here. That's another discussion down here, these guys. But so that's that.